I am currently 37 weeks pregnant. No name for the baby yet. We haven't bought anything for the baby. The only piece of baby item we have is a gift that I got from Crystal. Crystal is going to watch this video and her mouth probably drop like, but yeah. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Uchechi and I'm a content creator and digital marketing consultant. In today's video, I'll be taking you through like a recap of my pregnancy journey. So first off, if you're coming from Instagram or you're coming from maybe my recently or my last uploaded video and you're confused, right? Maybe it's like seeing a bump. I don't know if my bump is visible right now. This video was pre-recorded, right? So I had this idea to pre-record some videos, right? Like a pregnancy series and edit and schedule. So once the baby is here, the videos just go up, and that way I'm not in a hurry to come back to creating fresh content for YouTube, right? So hopefully this set of videos are helpful for any mom to be who is watching this, because they're sort of like my experiences throughout my pregnancy journey. So my pregnancy in trimesters, dealing with hyperemesis gravidarum, I hope I pronounced that correctly, sex in pregnancy, and all of that stuff, right? So I'm just going to break them down into different videos, yeah, so that it can become sort of like a resource for other mom to be's, right? Especially those living in Nigeria. Okay, so hi again, my name is Uchechi. I am currently 37 weeks pregnant. Let me show you my bump. So this is what, so this is what we are looking like at 37 weeks, right? So I'm currently 37 weeks pregnant. At this point, we don't have a name for the baby yet, and we haven't bought anything for the baby yet. Crystal is going to watch this video and her mouth probably drop like, but yeah, 37 weeks, no name for the baby yet. We haven't bought anything for the baby, but there's a reason for that, especially the second one. I was supposed to travel to have my baby, but unfortunately that didn't work out. I feel like God just wants me grounded here in Nigeria for a reason, because right from the honeymoon, like I've had a lot of travel plans. So I've had some travel plans since November, December last year, and they have not worked, right? So I'm just like, okay, you know what? Maybe I should be in Nigeria around this time for a reason, right? So of course, with trying to plan with traveling to give birth, it didn't make sense for me, or it didn't make sense in my head to start buying baby things here. But we found out not too long ago that we won't be able to travel, or I wouldn't be able to travel. So yeah, now we have to start buying baby stuff. I went for my antenatal appointment to 2 days ago, and doctor was like, oh, you're 37 weeks and you can go into labor any moment from now. And I'm just like, I am not ready for baby girl to come. So I have told her to chill a bit. I'm not in a hurry to pop. I really am not in a hurry to pop. So she needs to chill a bit while we get things ready for her arrival. Anyway, so let me just go straight into it. My pregnancy in general has been such a breeze, right? Of course, I've had hiccups here and there, but when I look at it in its entirety, I've enjoyed my pregnancy. Although my first trimester was traumatic, because I had severe morning sickness, which is hyperemesis gravidarum. I'll talk about that in the next video, right? To talk about it in details and how I dealt with it, in case you're also dealing with that and trying to figure out how to manage that phase, right? I'll talk about that in the next video. So you want to make sure that you're subscribed. If you're not yet subscribed, so you don't miss that video when it goes up. But yes, I dealt with that during my first trimester. I remember I was about 6 weeks pregnant when I landed in the hospital, right? So between 4 weeks to 6 weeks, I was very weak, couldn't keep anything down. Smells irritated me, but then I didn't know what was going on. I mean, of course, it had already dawned on me that I was pregnant. I never even did a pregnancy test, funny enough. But it really dawned on me that I was pregnant because I was seeing the signs and I had missed my period and all of that. Yes. And I managed it 4th week or 5th week. And about the 6th week, my husband was like, you know what? That he needs to take me to the hospital like right now. So if you know me, you know, like I would love to push hospital visits as far or as forward as possible, right? I would always say, oh, I can manage it at home. I can do this, I can do that, I can do this. And that's what I was doing. But my husband was like, no, he can see me. Like I was very weak. I could barely stand. I could barely even sit up to do anything because I couldn't eat. There was nothing, I hadn't put anything in my system for days. Right, so imagine going without food for days, right? And you're pregnant. Pregnancy already takes like a lot from you, and then you're not eating. So I was very, very weak, and my husband was like, you know what, I have to take you to the hospital. And I'm happy that he did, because when we got to the hospital, and the doctor assessed me, I was, he said I was severely dehydrated, and I was very weak. I had, I think, my blood pressure was also very low. And I remember very well, he said that we are lucky I came to the hospital that night, because if I had stayed till the next day, I may have gone into shock during the night. So I was immediately admitted. I had to take about 6 bags of drip, and even at that, I still couldn't pass urine because they need to do some tests. So I was that dehydrated that even after 6 bags of drip, I still couldn't pass urine. That's how dehydrated I was, right? So I had to stay in the hospital a bit longer and drink some more fluids, then, pass the urine and have the tests done. And then we came home. So that's how family found out that I was pregnant, because of course I had to tell my parents that, I was admitted in the hospital and this is why I was admitted, and that's how they found out and all of that stuff. So yeah, my first trimester wasn't rosy. I think I lost about 10 kg. So in addition to feeling sick and all of that, I also had like my spiritual journey, or I started like my own personal spiritual journey with God, right? It was I had to fight some spiritual battles during my first trimester. It's a lot. I can't even talk about that in this video. I would probably talk about that in another video when the time is right. And I mean, I'll only know when the time is right when I'm told to finally share details of that encounter. But it was also a trying period spiritually for not just me, but for me and my husband, but primarily me, right? And but I'm grateful for that phase, because it has sort of made my relationship with God a lot better, my personal relationship with God a lot better. So yeah, there was that happened. And then my emotional state was also all over the place, because prior to, being severely ill around like 4 weeks, 5 weeks of pregnancy, I had like beautiful plans for 2022. I was speaking with some business owners and some brands on working with them. I had even agreed, I was supposed to send an invoice to one to make payment for a job I was supposed to do in January. For another, a clothing brand in London, we had already agreed on rate and all of that. So all I needed to do was like go and take my measurements for the outfits that I'll use for the video content that I'll be creating for them monthly, right? I was also invited by an ice cream brand to experience their brand, right, and create content. I was supposed to travel in December for my honeymoon. I was already in talks with the travel agency for like a content collaboration deal, right, where they sponsor our honeymoon partly, in exchange for content and all of that stuff. Like all of these things were going on. I was supposed to have a fantastic start of the 2022 business and financial wise, right? So imagine now finding out that I'm pregnant. I'm not just pregnant, but I'm sick and can't do anything. So I remember crying a number of times, and just not feeling very happy about the entire thing, or about how I felt and all of that. But thankfully I was able to get out of that phase, and I was like, you know what, this is a blessing, and if God has allowed it to happen at this time, then it means it's supposed to happen at this time, right? In addition to that, there was also the fear that having a baby this soon would put a strain on the relationship I have with my husband. because I don't know if, okay, not a lot of you know, but I met and married my husband in 2021, right? So we met in January. By May, we had done our traditional wedding, and by October, we had done our white wedding, and then by November, I was pregnant. So it was like no space. So it felt like we hadn't gotten time together to like get used to each other and know each other very well. And then there was a baby coming, so all of those things just messed with my head. But by the grace of God, I was able to surpass all of that and started enjoying the pregnancy. And now my second trimester was a breeze, and I believe that's why it's called the honeymoon phase, right? It was so enjoyable. So my morning sickness lasted all through the first trimester and a little bit into the second trimester, right? So in month 4, I was still battling with that, and I was even beginning to get scared that it would last throughout the pregnancy, because it does for some people, right? But luckily in month 4 it subsided, and then I think I fully came out of it at the end of month 4 and into month 5, right? So immediately I regained my strength. It was like I was a totally different person from my first trimester. You guys, I had so much energy that I didn't know what to do with it. If you watch the video of how I put this space together, I was doing some heavy lifting. I hope you guys can't hear those kids shouting outside, right? I was doing some heavy lifting the couch, stretching recklessly and all of that. That's how much energy I had, that I forgot that I was pregnant. I had a bump and I needed to take things easy. And then after that video, in the night, I suffered for it. I had severe abdominal pain, and the next morning I landed in the hospital. So I do not recommend that you do that, no matter how energetic you feel during your pregnancy. Just take things easy, or always be sure of what your body can take, right? So I had so much energy throughout my second trimester. It was such a breeze. Like, there were times I woke up and forgot that I was pregnant, till I walked past the mirror and saw my bump. That's how beautiful my second trimester was. And then slowly I was able to do something. So I was able to start brushing. Okay, so I didn't mention, during my first trimester, brushing was so traumatic, because each time a brush came into my mouth, I would just throw up, right? So mouthwash and my tongue cleaner became my best friend during my first trimester. And even till now, because I still have like severe gag reflex when I try to brush, but it's better than how it was in the first and second trimester. Yes, there's also something called pregnancy body odor. I didn't know that till I experienced it, and then I coincidentally started seeing videos on Instagram from other moms talking about it, and I was like, oh, okay, so this is normal. So under my arms, especially in my first trimester, irritated me for the longest time. Oh my God, like I would catch a whiff of under my arms and I would cry. Because it was terrible. And this is not even an issue of having your bath or not having your bath, because I was having my bath. But it was something that I've heard it's hormonal. It doesn't happen to everyone, but it happens to some people. So if it's happening to you, then it's normal. Just find ways to control it. So what I now started doing was, every time I had my bath, I would spray deodorant under my arms, and I do that till now. So I have been so scarred by that in the first trimester, and even till now, if I have my bath 5 times a day, I'm using my deodorant 5 times a day. Whether I'm staying indoors or I'm going out. Smelly fat, smelly poop, very real, right? And very normal, just as a result of hormonal changes in your body. So, but by second trimester, I got out of all of that. The smell under my arms disappeared, right? I was able to brush better, right? And not throw up as often as I was doing during the first trimester. Yes, I also started having excruciating back pains towards the end of the second trimester, and I can even feel it now. Now that I'm talking about it, right? So pillows have become my best friend. So whenever I'm sitting, I'm making sure that my back is on the couch, right? Or that there's a pillow wedged behind me to sort of like give my back support. Because in pregnancy, the more your bump comes out, the more you curve out like this. So you need support here to balance that S curve that is happening when your bump is growing out. But luckily, that the excruciating back pain has sort of like not fully disappeared, but it's not as present as it was during my second trimester. So yeah, so that's my second trimester. Such a breeze. You know, I was able to start eating more. I started tolerating smells. I still can't spray all of my perfumes, right? But at least I can spray something now compared to first trimester where I couldn't spray jack. Now I can spray some of my perfumes. I think I still can't spray about 2 to 3 perfumes that I have. So I'm going to keep them and hopefully I can use them after I give birth. But yeah, that's it. Now, luckily for me, I didn't put on a lot of weight during pregnancy. So I haven't put on a lot of weight so far, right? I think I've gotten like 2 new outfits since I've gotten pregnant. I haven't had to buy any new pair of underwears. My shoe size hasn't changed. I'm still able to wear things that I was wearing pre-pregnancy. The only difference is it's tighter around my tummy or my bust because here definitely got bigger. My feet is not swelling. I think my ankles swelled up just once because I had stressed myself so much that day. I was on my feet literally all day and it has not happened since then. I'm not retaining fluids in any part of my body, so there's no swelling anywhere. I'm just so happy about this pregnancy and so thankful to God because I prayed for this, right? So if you've ever heard me pray to God, you just be like, what's this girl saying? Because I pray for even the silliest things, the vainest things like, God, please help me manage my weight when I'm pregnant. I don't want to add too much weight. Or things like, I don't know, the silliest things that you would think you can't pray about, I pray about, right? So I didn't have any acne. I think I even got lighter during pregnancy, right? I don't have any dark patches anywhere. Like I said, no swelling anywhere. I still wear my pre-pregnancy clothes. I still wear my shoes and all of that. So just a breeze, really just a breeze. So now I'm in my 3rd trimester and I have about 3-4 weeks to go before the baby comes. And I need to focus on getting things ready for her, right? So her crib is on the way. I feel like once that comes, to set things in motion, right? The only piece of baby item we have is a gift that I got from Crystal. That's the only baby item that we have in this house. Again, I'm sure Crystal is just going to shake her head when she watches this video because she had told me, but I mean, hopefully Crystal, by explanation at the beginning of the video makes sense, right? On why I haven't gotten anything till now. But yeah, at the moment, just counting down, not counting down because I'm tired of being pregnant, but counting down because it's just still surreal, right? So sometimes I'm just like, I'm actually going to be a mom. Like, I'm actually going to have a baby. I'm actually going to be breastfeeding somebody. There's actually going to be a baby in this house, you know? That's what I mean when I say I'm counting down, you know? But as far as being tired of being pregnant, by the grace of God, no, I'm not there yet. My back is starting to ache, you guys. So it means it's time to end this video. I don't know how long I have spoken for. So yeah, what else? 3rd trimester, I currently hate my stairs, right? If you've ever come to our house and you've climbed the stairs, you know that our stairs are ridiculously spaced, right? So they are high. So I currently hate them. But I also take them as a form of exercise, right? When I haven't done a lot of exercise or when I haven't exercised in a while, which shouldn't be happening. Okay, yeah, and that's it. So that's a recap of what my pregnancy journey has looked like so far. Super excited to meet her, even though we don't have a name for her yet. I feel like it's just going to be like old school, you know, before people started finding out the gender of their kids, before the babies came. You know, you just go to the hospital, you give birth, you see it's a boy, and then you pick a name, or you see that it's a girl and you pick a name, or you see that it's twins and you pick names for them. I feel like that's what's going to happen for us, right? So we already know the gender, but we don't have a name for this baby. But I feel like the name will come to us because I've also prayed and told God that I want Him to give us a name for her, right? I don't want us to pick just any name, right? I want the name to come from Him. So who knows? Maybe the name will come when she comes out. We name her right there at the hospital, or when we come back. I have no idea. It'll be so awkward. Not awkward. It'll be so weird if we call her baby for a few days before we can give her a name. That would be so funny. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but that would be so funny. In my next video, like I said, I would talk more in details about hyperemesis gravidarum and how I navigated that. So it's not like I fully cured it, but there were ways or there were things I did to cope with myself during that phase, and hopefully that would help you. So if you're interested in that video, you want to hit the subscribe button if you are not yet subscribed to the channel, so that when the video goes up, you see it. And once you subscribe, just go ahead and hit the notification bell, so you'll be one of the first people to be notified when the video goes up. All right, if you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments. Hopefully I'll be able to interact with you guys in the comments, because like I said, by the time you're watching this video, I'll have given birth, so I'll still be trying to adjust to having a baby and the newborn schedule and all of that. But I'm going to try to be coming on here to respond to the comments as often as I can till I get the hang of it all. Okay, so I'll see you in my next video, guys. Till then, stay safe, stay fabulous, stay blessed. Okay, bye.